Alright everyone, now it's time to talk about the weird New Jersey drone incidents that we've been seeing over the last week. Apparently, the official story is that there is a drone mothership hovering off the coast in international waters, randomly deploying drones over U.S. airspace, probably for surveillance purposes. They've mentioned Iran, they've mentioned Russia. It's not entirely clear. But then you've got other security experts that are saying that it's actually a U.S. government program. That is, that the drone mothership that is apparently canonically there is actually fielded by the U.S. government and they're doing some sort of tests. Considering the fact that these drones have not been fired upon, I actually believe that is probably the case. I don't believe that it's a foreign drone system. I believe the U.S. government is effectively testing out new technology of some sort. And that it's one of these, it's called like a deep access program, I believe is the term for it, where there's no public disclosure. I would think that if drones are violating your airspace in an area that's fairly trafficked by aircraft, generally speaking, the drones get shot down. Anything that violates that area, unless it's a hot air balloon, in which case apparently the Biden administration doesn't have jack shit to say about it. I would point out there is one complicating factor into figuring out what exactly is happening here, which is that the Biden administration has been fairly reluctant to actually guard U.S. borders. We saw this with the Chinese balloons. We certainly see it at both borders at this point. Canadians are going to be fleeing here to live under Orange Man, I guess, and hopefully bring their maple syrup with them. Might not be as good as Vermont maple syrup, but it's still pretty fucking good. Got a can of it over there that was given to me by a couple of subscribers, actually. It's pretty good stuff, probably. Crack that open, put it on some pancakes or something like that. I don't really eat pancakes. I'm more of a waffle person myself, which is probably something that you could figure out. But yeah, as far as the New Jersey drones go, it does look a little bit like it might be a government operation. If there's literally no response other than, oh, we don't know what's happening, you would think that probably it's not foreign drones. I know that Iran is very, very good at developing them. Actually, they're one of the foremost in the entire world with regards to drone development. The Russians have bought Iranian drones. Certainly the Lebanese and other groups, Hezbollah has bought Iranian drones. Apparently they're very well made. I think they reverse engineered some earlier US tech and then they sort of improved upon it and they made their own generation of drones. I think the U.S. is still number one as far as the tech angle goes, but Iran is capable of pumping them out so quickly that, you can overwhelm an enemy target potentially with thousands of them, and it's fairly cheap to do so. And so I have a feeling that this is probably U.S. government related. I think the Biden administration would be completely negligent if this were happening and no response was actually issued. Like they don't know what the hell is happening. And it's almost like feigned ignorance when you think about it. The U.S. government likes to do this under any administration. Something weird happens, Roswell or something like that. And then they say, well, we don't know what the fuck happened. And then eventually you release an explanation, but it's usually like a little bit fishy. Like the Gulf of Tonkin or something like that. I have a feeling that's what we're looking at the moment. I do not believe these are foreign drones, and if they are, that's 10 times more concerning. If it's a government program where they're just testing some new technology out, and they're just misleading the public, at the very least, they're our drones, so that's a little bit better. If they are foreign drones, though, I can't imagine why the U.S. government wouldn't be getting more directly involved. It shouldn't be difficult. Doesn't matter if it's over international waters. If it's being fielded by Iran, which is an adversarial nation to the U.S., just blow it out of the air. Just blow it up. Send in an F-16 or preferably an A-10 because the footage would be much more exciting. And just blow it out of the sky. What are they going to do? Declare war on us? Yeah, good luck. That's not going to happen. The reason that hasn't happened is probably because it's not their drones. It's probably the U.S. government's own property. I'm surprised that some crazy fisherman hasn't decided to take pot shots at it with a 50 cal or something like that. I don't know exactly what altitude it's hovering at, so maybe that's not physically possible, but yeah, you'd think that somebody would get involved. Eventually somebody would do something about it, I think, if it were a foreign drone platform. It's like a mothership, so You have like the big ass drone and then smaller drones are inside of it, I guess, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% on drone technology. I do not own one myself, although I do kind of want one because I can take stunning 4K footage at like 120 FPS of like the woods around me and stuff. As long as you get a license to do so, you know. You got to do that, otherwise you get a knock on the door, and it's not the kind of knock that you want, you know. The story doesn't really make sense. Here's the big problem. When I look at the story, the official talking point is, okay, Iranians have deployed a drone mothership off the shore of New Jersey and are currently doing something. We're not exactly sure what they're doing over our own airspace. But that official story does not make sense because of military protocol. Under military protocol, you would blow it out of the sky. The smaller drones would be destroyed. The mothership would be destroyed. It does not matter if it's over international waters. Like, let's say that we parked a couple of drone motherships off the coast of Iran, and they're in the Gulf there. So they're not in their airspace. But the littler drones are going into their airspace and doing things that are creeping the Iranians out. What the hell do you think that they're going to do about that? They're going to blow them out of the sky. Their anti-air systems will be deployed, and they will destroy it. It does not make sense under currently understood military doctrine why we wouldn't be doing the same thing. Like, you'd think that the Air Force would be scrambling right now. They'd be scrambling fighters, and it'd say something is approaching our coast. Smaller objects are coming out of it, and they're clearly over our airspace. We should probably do something about this. So either the Biden administration is so completely out to lunch that they're incapable of launching a military response, which is damning and concerning, or it's not foreign, and that's why there's actually been no response at all. One of those two things is definitively true. That's about all. Peace out.